Hi everyone, welcome back to Virtual Pet Show. I'm your host Fletcher, and today we have a very special video. We will be diving into Ethel Cain's Preacher's Daughter prequel, Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You. I've been so excited for this release, and I know it hasn't been out for long, but I wanted to get a better grasp of the lore, so I have dissected and formulated what I believe the story to be, based on lyrics, what Hayden has said, and my own interpretations. If I miss out on anything, or you want to share what you think, I would love to hear it in the comments. I won't be fully going into every single lyric and breaking it down, but the ones that I find important and overarching themes to the story. Let's begin. Our story takes place in Shady Grove, Alabama. It's summer and Ethel Cain just turned 16. We start with the opening track, Janie. This song describes Ethel's friendship with her best friend Janie, falling apart after Janie gets a boyfriend. It is stated Janie was Ethel's only true best friend. I think this song especially highlights Ethel's insecurities and how little she values herself. She views herself as disposable and deserving of hurt, with lines like, easy to hate, easy to blame, shoot me down, come on, hurt me, I'm wide open and deserving, and it's not looking good, but did it ever? Low stakes, low faith. We don't know Janie's perspective or the nature of her and her boyfriend's relationship, but as far as we know, Janie could have been totally willing to spend time with Ethel and keep her close. But Ethel practically throws that chance away by being dead set on their friendship being over. I can see the end in the beginning of everything, and in it, you don't want me, but I still play pretend, like I won't watch you leaving. Ethel believes she is insignificant to Janie in comparison to her boyfriend, that she is to be unwanted and made small, while Janie still means the world to her. She is pulling away from Janie out of fear and insecurity, essentially ending their friendship and hurting herself. She ends the song with, "You'll keep changing, I will stay the same," and turn the page to find it blank, except for my last name. I know you love her, but she was my sister first. Ethel predicts her future as continuing the cycles of trauma in her family, never escaping her last name, Cain, while Janie will change and go on to bigger and better things. Ethel referring to her as her sister instead of her girl, like earlier in the song, shows how deeply Janie means to her, that they will always be connected to each other, no matter the time or distance. At this point, I think Ethel is vulnerable and needing someone to try to fill the void Janie has left, which leads us into Willoughby's theme. It's an instrumental track with no lyrics, similar to a video game OST for a character. I believe this marks when Ethel starts to pay a lot of attention to Willoughby. The song gradually increases in volume and intensity, symbolizing how Willoughby starts to become of major interest to Ethel. It's a beautiful and haunting track, maybe reflecting Ethel's feelings of seeing him as this intriguing sanctuary after her friendship with Janie ended. But I think she keeps her distance for a bit, and that their relationship doesn't deepen for a while. During this time, they begin to hang out more, in group settings, and Ethel even gets jealous. Bringing us to Fuck Me Eyes. This track introduces a new character, Holly Reddick, who hangs around Willoughby, and Ethel assumes Willoughby is in love with her. Through the song, we are given Ethel's perspective of Holly. She describes Holly in a provocative nature, and that all the boys want to love her when she bats her fuck me eyes. She also states that Holly goes to church straight from the clubs. Hayden co-signed a lyric annotation stating, Ethel fears that Willoughby will never love her because she sees how most men flock to Holly's sex appeal, and assumes that Willoughby will follow suit and will be uninterested in Ethel because of the differences between the two women. Ethel also touches on Holly's broken family, her abusive relationships with others, rumors spread about her, such as Holly being Miss Holiday Inn, and how no boys want to pursue a serious relationship with her. Behind how she is perceived, Holly is sad, lonely, and scared of rejection, just like Ethel. Ethel begins to have a shift in perspective towards the end of the song, singing, I'll never be kind enough to me. I'll never blame her for trying to make it, but I'll never be the kind of angel he would see. She sees how she is hurting herself by comparing herself to Holly, but is still convinced Holly is more appealing to Willoughby and possesses traits she doesn't have. However, Ethel and Willoughby eventually get closer and start dating. Ethel becomes extremely anxious and obsessive over the idea that Willoughby will be taken away from her. These anxieties and obsessions are vocalized in the next track, Nettles. Ethel describes a scenario in which Willoughby gets injured and dies in a hospital. Despite these fearful stories plaguing Ethel's mind, Willoughby tells her not to worry and think of all the time Ethel will have with him. Ethel also states she is half of him, making him half of her, implying they are codependent and rely on each other in an unhealthy kind of way. This is more implied when Ethel says, "To love me is to suffer me," believing others cannot love her without her causing them pain. The lines, "You'll go fight a war, I'll go missing," allude to how different the two approach their mental problems. Head on versus quiet. Ethel wishes she shared this trait with Willoughby. The line also foreshadows how she eventually goes missing in Preacher's Daughter. Ethel also wishes she could express her hurt the way Willoughby can, or the ways that boys do, through anger, violence, and destruction. But since she is a girl, it is societally unacceptable. Towards the end of the track, Ethel brings up the possibility of them getting married in the future, viewing it as an escape from her life. She envisions a love with Willoughby similar to what her parents shared when they first got married, that their love will be the only thing that matters. We go into another instrumental track with Willoughby's interlude. It has an audio sample at the beginning, but I can't quite make out what the man is saying. But it's followed by what sounds like a woman saying, "Tell me what, darling." This track is similar to Willoughby's theme. It's haunting and grows in intensity. However, this time we can hear Ethel vocalizing throughout the song. I think this marks a change in their dynamic and that they are growing even closer. Even though it's Willoughby's song, Ethel is now incorporated, circling back to when Ethel said they're half of each other now. We follow this increase in closeness with Dust Bowl. Dust Bowl captures a time where their relationship is deeper than ever. Ethel describes it as love, and Willoughby even confesses he is in love with her. This is essentially Ethel's love song to Willoughby. She sings of moments they shared together and some characteristics of their relationship. Repeated lines about Willoughby seeing Ethel and paying attention to her despite everything else bring up her sense of insecurity again, where she deems herself as small or invaluable compared to what Willoughby could have. Some other important details she brings up include that Willoughby has a fear of storms. His father was drafted into a war. Him and Ethel used drugs such as weed to cope, which his father also used, and that he would be a writer and leave the life his father left behind for him if he could. In the outro of the song, Ethel states Willoughby is consumed by death. With this line and the other context surrounding Willoughby, we can assume he suffers from depression, trauma, and copes in violent or reckless ways. We go into Knock at the Door, which kind of causes a shift in the album sonically and with Hayden's vocals. I interpret the title Knock at the Door as a metaphor for death. It is revealed that Willoughby's father is in the state pen, and he is even referred to as Satan, implying that that is what Willoughby sees him as. It is clear he holds a lot of negative emotions towards his father, and resents him for leaving behind everything for Willoughby to take care of. Willoughby feels this responsibility at an age he shouldn't be. Ethel also states Willoughby is not scared of death. However, she feels death follows her and that she is the bringer of it, both in a literal and metaphorical sense. Because of her father dying and believing she pushes people to leave her, she is scared of death, whether that is someone actually dying or someone leaving her. Despite Willoughby not being afraid, Ethel sees his downward spiral and how he keeps losing things in his life. In Hayden's lyric annotation, she states, "Still, she returns back her own feelings of him, continuing to hold him in the light of her obsessive love, mythologizing him and how well she knows him." This reveals Ethel does not know him as well as she thinks she does, and that he does not meet her perception of him. We end the track with Ethel being uncertain, saying, "You're not scared of no knock at the door," or maybe you are, further signifying her perception of him is not completely true, and her realizing this makes their relationship turn for the worst. The third and last instrumental track of the album is Radio Towers. I believe this is the start of when the tornado starts to hit Shady Grove. The track itself, being named Radio Towers, refers to how radio towers are used to give off tornado warnings. This track contains hospital beeping, and we know the tornado caused 3 deaths and lots of destruction to their hometown. We also know Willoughby has an extreme fear of storms, leading us into Tempest, which is the only track off the album from Willoughby's perspective. From this page Hayden shared a while ago, it's revealed that Ethel leaves Willoughby during the tornado, leaving him alone, stating, "I left him curled between the couch and the coffee table when it all got too loud." In this song, Willoughby believes he will die and expresses his tumultuous feelings towards Ethel, such as, "I'll hurt myself if I want. I don't care. Do you swing from your neck with the hope someone cares?" I interpret this as Willoughby saying he hurts himself without looking for someone to care, while Ethel does the opposite. And also, "I can lead you to bed, but I can't make you sleep. I've heard it before from someone who leaves." Hayden left this lyric annotation. Ethel desperately tries to do for Willoughby what she thinks he needs, but she can't truly help him as she's never truly looked at him for what he is or what he actually needs. He sees this surface level attempt as echoing the sentiments of his mother, someone who left him and his father years before. Since his father isn't around, we can assume Willoughby lives with his mother now, but holds a lot of resentment towards her. This reveals Willoughby is truly on his own apart from Ethel, but now that she has left him during the tornado, he feels she is now gone too. Willoughby goes on to describe how he's always waited for death, and that it is being too slow in taking him. He later states, "I'm gonna regret this." This can be interpreted in many different ways. He could regret meeting Ethel, his choices, choosing to wait for death, or simply existing in the first place. He then reflects on his relationship with Ethel, with the lines, "You came around here just to watch me writhe. Am I what you think about all late at night? You can try and stop me, hold me, do all the things that you do, but it's no good." Reiterating Ethel's realization and knock at the door that she doesn't truly know him. He also knows this and acknowledges she tried her best. We come to a close with Waco, Texas, the last track of the album. We are back in Ethel's perspective. As we know from House in Nebraska, Willoughby leaves. It is suspected that Ethel's last time seeing Willoughby was when she left him during the tornado. We aren't sure whether Willoughby left town or if he died during the tornado, but I suspect he left town. I interpret this song as Ethel recounting the last moments of their relationship, her regrets, and her heartbreak. "Save me from another late night of red eyes. But then the morning comes, and you were there looking for me. But I was gone, turned my back for a moment, and you had fallen apart. I liked him because his rule was do whatever you like, and I tried, alright. Now I'll wear these scars for life." She also reflects on how she never truly knew him. "Yeah, you've changed, but did I ever know you? Or did I hold you facing away from me?" She thinks of what could have been. "I've been picking names for our children. You've been wondering how you're going to feed them. Love is not enough in this world, but I still believe in Nebraska dreaming, 'cause I'd rather die than be anything but your girl." The ending of their story concludes with the following lines, which Ethel is facing the reality of their relationship and not looking at it through rose-tinted glasses like she has previously done. "You know I'd do anything for you. You know it's true, 'cause I've said it to you. Held in my arms, I swore I'd be good to you. Then sat and watched as you walked away from me. So I bled till I cried, till I felt I might die. To be known the way you should is to put yourself through hell. Still I waited and tried till it killed me. 'Cause you're right. I can wait if I want, but it'll never be good enough like I want to believe it is." With that, Willoughby Tucker, "I'll Always Love You" is finished. But let's revisit A House in Nebraska. With this new context, we can interpret lines of the song differently than before, such as, "Where you told me even if we died tonight, that I'd die yours." These words could have been said to Ethel by Willoughby the night of the tornado. "Your mama calls me sometimes to see if I'm doing well." Could imply multiple things. Some speculate it means Willoughby died in the tornado and his mother is calling Ethel to check on her, since she knew they were dating. But it could also mean he's not dead, and that his mother knew they had broken up, and just wanted to make sure she was okay. I personally believe the second scenario, since Ethel talks as if Willoughby's alive and choosing not to come home. And with that, Ethel and Willoughby's story finally ends. It's a tale of two kids falling in love and trying to make it, but it's simply not enough. Ethel had an idealized version of Willoughby in her mind that Willoughby couldn't live up to. and Willoughby ultimately became consumed by his trauma in the end. Ethel became consumed by hers in her own way by the end of Preacher's Daughter. He went to war and she went missing. The release of this album concludes the Ethel Cain story as far as music, but we still have the book, Diary of a Preacher's Daughter, to look forward to. In the future, albums about her mother and grandmother, which will give us more context. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment and let me know what you guys think about this album and the story that's still unfolding. If you guys would be interested in me explaining Preacher's Daughter, I definitely will. See you later. Bye. Justice for Homecoming.